Hello and welcome to my channel, Talisman Tarot. In this reading I want to ask the cards and spirit directly through channeling about your life purpose. And I have 7 groups here that you can choose from. This will be group number 1, this will be group number 2, this will be group number 3, this will be group number 4, this will be group number 5, this will be group number 6, and this will be group number 7. So I will ask you to use your intuition and choose the group that speaks to you the most, the group that catches your eye, and that group will be your group. And if you need any more time to choose, you can pause the video. But if you don't need any more time, then I'll just move on to the reading. Hello, group number 1. You chose this Tarot Cats tarot deck, and I will start with some channeling and then I will shuffle the cards for you. So, group number 1, the people who will choose group number 1. Spirit, can you tell me what group number 1's life purpose is? What's group number 1's life purpose? Okay, so I'm getting that for some of you, you have a life purpose that's like, I feel like it's a bit more tangible in a way, where I feel like your life purpose is to help people physically, like be there, like in a physical way, either fighting for your country in the military or working as a nurse or a doctor. But like I feel like your life purpose is very hands-on, like you're supposed to be out there either protecting people from a real like entity that's trying to harm them, or help people through healing, like being a doctor, like closing up wounds, or like not healing, like not that kind of mumbo jumbo, more hands-on, like it seems more grounded. I think your life purpose is very grounded. It's very like, it's very it's something that you can calculate, like when you look back at it when you're old, like when you look back at your life, I feel like you can actually count your life purpose by counting how many lives you have saved. So I feel like it's very, like, you're supposed to save lives. Yeah, so it's just like save lives, protecting people, but also like something like being a lifeguard, making sure that people are not getting hurt, being some kind of like I feel like one of the reasons why you have been chosen to do this is that you have what's called, like, I think it's called the falcon's eye or hawk's eye, or like you have this you have a way of just like you can look like if you were a guard, like you have a, like you can see who, like you can see very well, you're very observant, you're able to keep track on people. Like you notice if someone's missing. Like if you were to scan a whole room, you would know if one person went to the toilet, even if that person was a complete stranger to you. Like you are very observant. You're good at keeping track on things, and I think that quality is why, like that is a gift that you have been given, and you're supposed. Like I think, like the first word that came into my mind while I was channeling was military, and so now I've like talked like around the subject but because I don't want to like scare anyone, but I feel like the military might, like I think you could really serve people in the military and be of help in the military, and so yeah. But I'm gonna shuffle the cards and see what else comes up about your life purpose, group number 1. What's your life purpose, group number 1? Two of Swords reversed. This makes sense because this card here, when it's upright, the cat is blindfolded, but it's reversed, and so I'm sensing that like you're supposed to be people's eyes. Like the people who don't have eyes, you have to be their eyes, and of course, like I don't mean only like that you have to like help blind people, but like but some people walk around blind and like are not observant in the same way as you are, and most people are like that, and we all tend to walk around with our head under our arm, and we don't really see what's going on around us, and so like I think you have some, like because you're so observant, because you notice so much in your environment and in your surroundings, like you can tell so easily if there's something. Maybe you also have some foresight, like maybe you know if something bad's gonna happen, and then you can swoop in and help and make sure that it doesn't happen. Like so you might be able to see like 5 minutes or so out in the future, just enough so that you can prevent someone from getting hit by a truck, or prevent someone from like drowning in the ocean, like and I feel like even if you're not gonna work in a field that has to do with protecting people, then I still think you're gonna protect a lot of people in your lifetime by just being that observant person on the street who, like, even when you're walking to work in the morning, you might just save someone's life while walking to work, just because you were able to swoop in and help someone from getting hit by a truck, or like, because you're so it's not like, sometimes our life purpose is not necessarily tied to what career path we're gonna choose. Like sometimes our career path can just be something that we choose for fun, for the fun of it, and I think that's possibly more what you're gonna do is to but some of you, like I think maybe some others others of you will do some work with protecting people, healing people, being a doctor, nurse, into the military. I would recommend doing that, even though I'm kind of like, I'm anti war, so like of course I wouldn't, but I wouldn't recommend it to just about anyone, but I would recommend it to you, because I think, like, if someone had to do it, then it should be you, because you actually seem to have some of the skills that you need to have in order to be a very good soldier, or someone in the military. There are other positions, I know, like but yeah, I think but even if you didn't do that, like, I think you could also just, like, fulfill your life purpose by just being that observant person in the street, helping people, like, because I think you have also, like, you might have noticed that you're always in the right place at the right time. Like, it might have happened a few times that you've just been there when someone had a heart attack, been there when someone fell from the bridge, been there when, like, you might have just been in the, like, right in the middle of some, and it's like maybe you've noticed that it's like you've been sent to there, like that you were meant to be there, like that someone guided you to be there at the right place at the right time. And I think that's a pattern that's gonna keep repeating itself, that and it's not something you need to seek out, and that your life purpose is not something you seek out, it's something that finds you. So you don't have to do anything differently, like it's just always gonna find you. With the Devil reversed, I think your life purpose is through liberation, freedom, making like giving people, that could also tie to the military stuff, protecting people from a tyrant, protecting people from, like, it's not that I know that this all sounds like very horrifying to some people, because some of us, we live in countries where there's no it's rather safe, like, and so but there might happen something in the future that will where you will have to defend people from a tyrant, or so and then maybe even defend your country from evil forces but I don't want to but it's in the future. Maybe it's not gonna happen, maybe it's just for some of you, maybe you're even gonna go to another country to protect them from a tyrant that has nothing to do with, no ties at all to your country. So it could be a fight far away from where you live right now. So it's but I'm sensing that, like, when you're old and look back, you're gonna be able to tell your grandchildren that you helped make people free. Like, you helped free people. You helped liberate people. You help giving people like breaking the chains from like and from people like breaking their chains like yeah. So I think you will free people, like, or that's your life purpose, is to free people and make make the world a safer place. And you can't do that on a grand scale. You have to do it like one by one, like making one person feel safer, and already you have made the world a safer place. If you made one person feel safe, then and then I think you're just gonna like go on and make the world a better place by like one by one, like yeah. So but yeah, I'm gonna shuffle like one more card. So what's group number one's life purpose? So the Tower, I think your life purpose is to also break down something that isn't working out. Like maybe you have a bit of a rebel in you, like that needs to come out sometimes. Like maybe there is something within you that just screams that like you want to change the system and make the system better for everyone, and change some of the dynamic within society, so that it's more fair for everyone, create more justice, create more like also it kind of goes hand in hand with the hawk's eye, like the that you're very observant of everyone in the room. Like you don't discriminate between people. Like you see everyone as equally important, and so if someone walks out of the room, you notice and you make it it's a big deal to you. Like even if that someone who left the room was like low in the hierarchy, a homeless guy, or someone who like who didn't like matter to you politically or something, I don't know, but like even like you don't discriminate, and you everyone is important, and it doesn't matter if it's one person, like if it's a leader, or a political leader, or a mother in the street, or a child, or like everybody, like every person is a person, and every human is a human. Every human has a right to exist, and so a leader doesn't have more of a right to exist than a citizen. So like it's more like that. But I'm also sensing something about like fighting for basic human rights, for people, fighting for people who don't have a voice as well, fighting, also being able to give people a perspective of like maybe through journalism as well, like going into journalism to talk to share the stories of the normal average people outside, walking outside in the street, or talking to homeless people, talking to drug addicts, talking to children of abusers, talking to talking to everyone, and giving everyone a voice, and making making a story out of every person, because that's kind of that's how we maybe also prevent wars from happening, is to or we can't really do that, but sometimes when we go into war, it becomes statistics, then one people died one person died one day, and then 100 people died the next day, and then suddenly human life starts losing its meaning when it just becomes a number and not a face on and I think through sharing stories of every face of every one of those faces on that number, then the number stops being just about statistics and becomes something more what's it called, I guess familiar. And yeah, I think that's your life purpose, and I think you will make a big difference in the world. And even if you don't seek out your life purpose, I think it will find you. You will find that opportunities will come your way, and you will be handed ways and ideas and inspiration to fulfill this life purpose. You will make up creative, find creative ideas to try to make the world a safer place for everyone, and those ideas will just come to you, I think. And you will be at the right place at the right time, and you will save people, protect people, even if you're not pursuing that path. You're still gonna do that, I feel like. So yeah, I think that's all I have for you, group number 1. I hope this reading was helpful, and if it was, please subscribe to my channel. And if you want a personal reading from me, check the description box below for more information on how to get one. And yeah, have a great day, and bye. Hello, group number 2. You chose the Wonderland Tarot, and I will start with some channeling, and then I will shuffle the cards for you, group number 2. So group number 2, the people who will choose group number 2. Spirit, can you tell me what group number 2's life purpose is? What is group number 2's life purpose? I am sensing that your life purpose has to do with children and making a difference by helping children. This, I feel like you have a very unique way around children. You're very good at talking to children, playing with children, but especially making children feel seen, make them feel special, see their, I think you have a way of seeing children's talents, but I think you can also do that with adults as well. Like I think you have a great eye for seeing people's qualities, like what people are good at, what people excel at, and what people might have a more difficult time doing. Like I think you're good at seeing like the potential in people and seeing what needs to be like what needs to be forced out. Like sometimes we have something within ourselves that is just lying there passively and we can't really get it out, and so sometimes we need someone else to come in and kind of force it out of us. And I think you have the ability to do that. Like I think you could possibly also be very good with more shy children, like getting shy children to talk and engage socially, and because I feel like you might have been a shy child yourself, and so maybe you understand what they are going through. Like you can empathize with the shy kid, and you know what it was like being that kid. But I also just feel like even if you weren't shy as a kid, I think you still just have the ability to see it from their perspective, imagine how, like I think you have a very great imagination. I think you have like you're able to imagine what it's like to be shy, even if you're not shy. Like and like I feel like your life purpose has to do with helping children and helping people, like helping adults, also possibly also helping adults, but maybe helping adults with inner child healing, because like some adults weren't seen as a child, like no one saw them, and so they grow up with absolutely no sense of their own identity because nobody saw them as when they were children. And so and that's something that needs healing when they are like, even as an adult, you still like, there's no like expiration date on that. Like you still have to be seen, like even as an adult. Like that urge never goes away. That need never goes away, even though you grow up and feel like that shouldn't be that big of a deal, not having been seen. Like that's but it is. And so, and I'm also getting that like some of you might have really great writing skills, like you're good at writing, and I think some of you could like might have like a life purpose of writing that you need to fulfill, like and some of you already know that's your life purpose is writing, but I feel like not all of you know that it's that I'm sensing that it's that you would excel at writing children's books, like but some of you, I feel like some of you already have that in mind, that you would like to write something like Harry Potter. That's not a children's book, but it's also a children's book, but also like a teenage, like adolescent book, I think, like young, but also it also appeals to smaller children, but it also appeals to adults, like full-grown adults, enjoy them as well. And so I feel like that could be your genre, is to like write something for every age group in one, like write it like writing a children's book that also can be very very fascinating to adults as well. And I think you're supposed to like write in a way where you can really change the outlook of the child, like make the child realize something, but also make the adult realize something. Like, but it's supposed to. I feel like you could also like write like like fables or fairy tales, small like something where you can write about animals, but you're really writing about humans in like, but you use the animals as a medium to speak to children with, so that you can talk about some of the hard stuff that you can't talk about if you're talking about humans. Like then you can like soften the blow by talking about animals instead, like that animals are going through something hard. Then it's not, doesn't really soften the blow, but yeah, but it's a bit cuter if it's a squirrel that has a traumatic experience than if it's a human. But like but I feel like your life purpose is to appeal, like to write something that's gonna change the lives of a lot of children and young teenagers, and really make a difference in the world that way. But also, like, if you're not into writing at all, then I feel like it's just that then you might be more hands-on. Like you might fulfill your life purpose by just making a difference for children, like by caring for them in school, or like being a teacher, being a kindergarten teacher, being a daycare caregiver or something. Also maybe like helping children with a small handicap, maybe also autistic children, working with autistic children, because I think you have this unique way of speaking to children in a, like, you can appeal to something within, like, even the shyest child. You can get even the shyest child to talk, and you can get you understand autistic children as well, to the point where you know exactly what to say in order to make them go out of their fit if they have one, or make them talk if they don't, like, and also talk them down when they get hypersensitive, or when they get like overly like sensory overload or something. Like you have like a very unique way of just dealing with children who have certain difficulties, or certain, like, yeah. But I'm also sensing that some of you could make some kind of breakthrough within the field of child psychology. So I'm gonna look at these cards now. So, with a page of peppermills, which is page of wands reversed, I think your your life purpose is. I feel like your life purpose is to show, like, because this card here, like, if you look at this, it's a frog, but it's like a very well-dressed frog that really takes himself very seriously and is very, very, like, he looks a bit like a judge as well, like, but he's like with the wig and all, but not with the rest of the clothes though, but I think you're supposed to like, your life purpose is to also make people, like, I feel like some of you might be very funny and very like light-hearted, very like happy-go-lucky, like you have a great sense of humor, I feel like, and you're good at lightening the mood, and you're good at like, maybe you're also good with children that way, like, you know exactly what to say to like to break the ice, like, you could be like, some of you could be great as like a hospital clown or something like that, where you can actually make a difference, because you can go into like a room full of children with cancer, and you can go in there and make them all like laugh and make them all comfortable and make them all like, I feel like you have that ability to lighten up a room and make them less, like, make life seem less serious for a moment, because not everything has to be serious all the time, and so, yeah, I think you're supposed to be like a bit more happy-go-lucky, a bit more like, and I think like you can do that by setting an example, by being a bit like, it doesn't matter if you put your shirt on sideways or like backwards, or that, it's because, even like, also appealing to children in that way, where you can where you can make children also like realize that even adults make mistakes sometimes, and life, and not everything has to work out perfectly, and sometimes we make a mistake, and it like teaching children that sort of thing, that it's okay to make mistakes, it's okay to not look perfect all the time, and it's okay to wear your shirt backwards sometimes, and it's okay to not take yourself so seriously, and like, just laugh it off if you make a mistake, and like, okay, you'll just try it again tomorrow and see if you get it right, like, and yeah, making people like, yeah, I feel like you're supposed to make the world a bit more happy, fun, less serious, less like, and put humor in the mix. I feel like that's, and with the star here, like I think you're supposed to be a bit of a star for some people, like being the leading star, being a role model for children or people, like being like being a role model for people. In a way where you make people realize that things are not, like everything doesn't have to be perfect. You can also do that like through social media and stuff, like having an account where you, like an Instagram account where you just post pictures of everyday things, where things are not picture perfect, where you're maybe even comfortable like showing pictures of your house even though it's not completely clean, or taking pictures of yourself even though you're not like completely presentable, and not like showing people that it's okay to not be like perfect and presentable all the time. Like sometimes we can have a bad day and that's fine. Like and with the tower here, like I feel like there is something here where your life purpose is to talk about something that's difficult, and like breaking down taboos, subjects that people don't want to touch because they are difficult to talk about, or because it's just not like culturally appropriate to talk about for whatever reason. Like there are certain topics that no one really wants to discuss, and I think you were put on this earth to open up that, open the lid to something that nobody wants to talk about, something that, and maybe also do it in a more fun and light way, where you actually get your message across in a more digestible way, where it doesn't seem that scary to talk about, where it doesn't seem like this whole taboo thing, like it where you can actually make it seem natural, like talking about the weather, like a natural thing, and with the 9 of Swords here, this is someone who is like holding. This card actually kind of makes me think of someone who has autism. So I'm kind of going back to the autism thing with this card. That because I think you are. I don't know if some of you haven't figured this out yet, because maybe some of you just don't have a lot of autistic people around you, and so maybe you don't know this. But I think you have like a very good way of communicating with autistic children, especially like very autistic children, like what's it called, like infantile autism, or I'm not completely sure what's it, but like the worst the worst category of autism on the spectrum, like the one that's far in the red zone, I guess. Like I think you have a way of connecting with very autistic children and make very good progress with them, and make them talk, make them like talk to mute children who just haven't, like, and especially autistic children that are who are mute, and make them actually start talking. Like, I think you can do that. Like, and you have a way of, like, when you're hands-on, like when you work like directly with children, like in a kindergarten or in some kind of institution or something, then this gift will be more apparent, because I think you will also be able to talk autistic children down, and like when they have like an outburst, you can calm them down. You might also be able to calm like animals down very easily, like calm horses down, like and tame horses, tame animals. Like, so you might also have the gift of like connecting to animals as well. But I'm sensing that like with children, like if you work with children, you can make more progress in some way. Like it seems like your life purpose will be more fulfilled if you work with children, but even if you don't, I think you're gonna be great with your own children as well. Like, so not that I think you're gonna get an autistic child, but of course there is a possibility, especially if you're very like if you're very intelligent, then like maybe you don't find a husband or wife who's also very intelligent. Then because then I read that somewhere that like if two parents have very high IQs, then there's a higher risk of getting an autistic child. Just so like maybe not that you have to like marry the doofus, but just so you don't get the an autistic child, because there's nothing wrong with getting an autistic child. Like that, it's a challenge, but I think for you, it's no challenge at all. Like it's gonna be a walk in the park. It's not. It's gonna be difficult, of course, but it's gonna, like, if someone had to do it, it should be you. Like, not that you, but because you actually have this great talent when it comes to autistic children. Like you understand them and you have a way of connecting with them, and so. So yeah, but I think that's all I have for you. Group number 2. I hope this reading was helpful in any way, and if it was, please subscribe to my channel, and yeah, if you want a personal reading from me, check the description box below for more information on how to get one, and yeah. Have a great day and bye. Hello, group number 3. You chose the Ramses Tarot, and I will start with some channeling, and then I will shuffle the cards for you. Group number 3. So, group number 3, the people who will choose group number 3. What is group number 3's life purpose? Spirit, can you tell me what group number 3's life purpose is? I'm getting like this image of like beads that are on a string, and I'm getting two things from this, and that is that either like I feel like you're supposed to connect things, but I think there's also that you might have like your life purpose is not like just one. It's like a lot of beads on a string. Like you have a lot of different life purposes, but they all tie together in the same on the same path. So, but I'm also getting that your life purpose is to connect people, connect people for a cause, maybe, or something where you get people to come together for some, like some finding. I feel like you're supposed to create some kind of organization or something where you can kind of combine strengths with, like, I feel like your life purpose is like it's that's also interesting. Like, I think you're not alone. Maybe that's what the beads on the string means. Like, you're not alone with your life purpose. Your life purpose is a life purpose that you share with some other people on the same string. And so you're supposed to find these people and work together with them for some greater cause. And I feel like you're supposed to work together with people. You're supposed to find union, like within like a group of people, like a union coming to a group coming together, and combining forces, combining strengths to make a more powerful, make something more powerful. Like I don't think any of you are very individualistic. Like, I think you're the opposite. I think you are more like you don't seem to be interested in doing something on your own just for yourself and then having the fame and having it all for yourself and just being like this taker. Like, I think you're a giver. I think you're someone who wants to contribute to the world and have like some kind of group setting where you can contribute to a group and you can see how your strengths and your forces and your power is actually making the whole group a better group, like making it all better by like you putting in effort for a whole for the greater good of something. I feel like it's like I feel like you're the type of people who don't like labels. Like, you don't like to be labeled as something. Like, you don't want to get a university degree just so that you can say, oh, I'm a technician, or I'm a veterinarian, or I'm a psychology major, or I'm a this, or I'm a that, or whatever. Like, I think if you went to, like, maybe you are in the university, or maybe you're thinking about going into the university, or maybe you have already gotten your degree or something. But I think when you went to the university, if you have been there, like, I think you went there with the thought in mind that you wanted to expand the field. Like, that was you wanted to make the field better. Like, you didn't want the university to help you. You wanted to help the university. Like, you wanted to add to the knowledge. You didn't want to just have like and that is the right way to look at it. So of course, some people would say that's grandiosity or whatever, but it's really not. It's how it should be. Like, we should all think of ways to make our field greater, to contribute to our field, the field that we believe we are destined to work in, and think of ways to broaden the field, better the field, and add knowledge, add wisdom, add information to that field, so that the field can increase and expand. And I think you think of what you can contribute. You don't think of, like, you don't have to have a degree necessarily. Like, you don't have to, like, it doesn't matter to you if you can tell people that that you majored in something, or that you're like, it's you don't do something just like, you don't learn French just so that you can say that you learned French, like that now you know French, and now you can brag about it to your friends and say, oh, I can speak French fluently, and so, like, you don't want bragging rights. Like, it doesn't matter to you if you can brag about something. It's just like, if you do something, it's because you want to connect with others. Like, you want to like, it's all about connecting. It's all about it's all about the greater good of the group, and like, if it's practical to know French so that you can connect with people more easily, then you do that. Like, it's selfless. It's not selfish. It's more that you want to do something for someone else to make their life easier, like, so that you can communicate on their language, so that it's easier for them. It's more smooth. They don't have to learn your language. You can learn theirs. Like, so yeah, and I think your life purpose is very much connecting with others, connecting, but also connecting things with other things. Like, I think you have a way of seeing similarities in things, like maybe even things that other people can't see similarities in, like finding some kind of common denominator within, like, something that nobody would like, maybe people see it as polar opposites, but you see that there's, like, a similarity between, like, the Fast and the Furious movies and maybe, like, the freaking Bible, like, some, and even though everybody would be like, wait, what? No, you can't do the Bible, like, you can't do that to the Bible, and compare it to something like Fast and the Furious. But then when you talk about it, then you can make some kind of, like, arguments about, like you can argue that, oh yeah, but there is actually something, maybe the like some kind of, I don't even know what the similarity could be, but like the continuity, I guess, the never-ending story, and the continuum, the always talking about when's the end, like when's the, always thinking about the end, like or that's, like, is there gonna be another like another movie, or is it? When is the fucking apocalypse gonna happen in that story? Like could it be sooner than later? Like, but like. I don't know, but I didn't like intend on talking so much about that. But yeah, I think you might be able to see what's connecting it, like, because you see everything as connected, and that is a rare quality. Like, it's amazing to see everything, every particle as connected, because that way we can see similarities in everything. Like, we can see the things that tie everything together, and I think it's beautiful. It also makes you very good at connecting with other people, like, because you can tell what you need to talk about to connect with the other, that person, because you can see the similarities. Like, you can see the similarities with everyone. Like, you can mirror yourself in everyone you meet. Like, you can see a small part of yourself in everyone, and when you can do that, like when you can see everyone as you, as a part of you, or a small part of you, you can see that small part of you within everyone you meet on your path. And when you can do that, when you see that small part of you, then you always want to do the best for everyone. You want to help everyone. You want everyone to succeed. You want everyone to be like you want everyone to become like a famous, like, because every person that you meet on your path, you see them as yourself. Like, you see a small part of yourself in them. Like, you see the similarities. You see how your particles are so connected, that you see the connection between you and them, and sometimes it might be a bit blurred when you stop and they begin, and I don't know, but I feel like that is why you like, I think some of you are very like, you get ambitious when you talk to other people. You get ambitious on their behalf. Like, you want everyone to succeed, and you want to see what you can do to make the other person succeed, because it makes you feel good as well. Like, you don't have a jealous bone in your body. Like, you don't get envious of other people's fame and fortune, because you just want to see people succeed, because you see yourself in them, and you want the best for them as you would want the best for yourself. Like, and I think, like, it gives you a lot of joy to make things happen for other people. And I think that is, like, the joy that you feel, the feeling that you feel, that of where you feel good when you do something for another person. That's an indicator that this is your life purpose. Your life purpose is to build people up, and like, see how, like, also, like, if you help someone get famous, for instance, of course, yes, that looks like a very generous offer that you're offering that person, but what they don't know is that you're doing it because you know that if you succeed at making that person famous, then you have a famous person in your inner circle who owes you a favor, and that is a good, like, that's good for you in the long run to know that. So like it's not like you are selfless, but you're also aware how we're all connected, and how if you build someone up, and if you build someone up high, they can grab you and take you up with them. Like, and that is like, it's very rare to meet people who have the same this same view of the world, and it's very obvious to me that your life purpose is to help others see the potential in others, and help them succeed because you're good at seeing opportunities to help others, like and you're good at seeing how events are connected. Like, if you do this, then this happens, and then the outcome will be this. Like, so you might have some foresight as well. Like, you can tell if things are gonna, like, where things, like, it might not be obvious to you, but it's obvious in, like, I feel like you just get the, like, you get the urge to do something. Like, you might be very spiritually guided. Like, you just get the urge to do something, and like, you just, maybe you find someone online, and then then you get the urge to message that person, and then, like, one thing leads to the other, and then suddenly things, I don't know, but this seems very specific for a few of you, but like, I feel like you've just noticed that, you might have already noticed that sometimes you just do things just because they feel right in some way. Like, you just get a sudden urge to do something, and then it just reveals itself afterwards that it was actually meant to, this was meant to happen. You were meant to do this. You were meant to take a right turn, the wrong turn, while you were out driving, and you ended up in the wrong place, but actually it was the right place because it was exactly where you were supposed to be, or like so I think you have some foresight. I think, but you also, like, I feel like intuitively you know if something, like, you know what to do, you know what the next step is going, like, you might not, like, necessarily know what's going to happen, but you just know that it feels right to take the right turn instead of the left turn. Like, you know it's in your gut that it's the right turn. Like, so with 6 of Cups here, I am sensing that it's you're supposed to help people. You're supposed to offer people, like, you're supposed to share yourself with others in not in a creepy way, but like you're supposed to share yourself, your insights with others, and don't be so afraid of sharing your insights, like sharing, like, your thoughts and your ideas with others. Like, I know that some of you might be, like, a bit secretive sometimes about certain things, like certain things, certain ideas you've had might be so brilliant that you don't want to share them with anyone because you don't want them to steal your ideas. But I think you shouldn't be so afraid of that happening, because I think if you shared it with the right person, and I think you're the type of person who would know who the right person is. If you shared it with the right person, you could actually combine forces and actually even build on it, work on it, and together make it even a better idea. Like, so sometimes sitting on a brilliant idea is not necessarily the best thing for the idea. Like, the idea might not blossom that way. It is a seed that you have, like, but if you don't put it into the earth and water it, then it won't really develop from there. And I think what needs to be done in order for it to blossom is to share it with others, but not everybody, like not a stranger on the street, but share it with the people that you can actually visualize, envision, that you like. If you think about it, like, if you think of one person in your life that you think would be good, who would be good to share it with, who could actually help you develop the idea, then share it with that person. If you can envision you two working together closely and actually make it work, like, but if you try to think about it and like and it's just blank, and you can't really tell the future of it, like if you try to imagine it, then maybe it's not the right person. But I think you are a good judge of character. You know who to share it with and who to not share it with. And so, but I think, like, you're also supposed to, like, do something more, like, I feel like I'm also sensing with this because, like, this guy here, he is sort of like he's making a pot or a vase or something out of clay, and it's like kind of, in my head I had kind of thought of the scene in Ghost, where they were like doing the and so, like, this is giving me a few associations, but the main association I get from it is that I think you are supposed to work in union with someone else, and but I think it's actually gonna be more romantic. Like, you're gonna be, I feel like I see for many of you that you're gonna be a power couple with someone else. Like, you're gonna be romantically involved with someone who's gonna help you with your ideas, and like in union, like you're gonna create something beautiful together. Like, and like you're gonna share, like you're gonna combine forces, combine your strengths, and like what you lack, your future partner or current partner is gonna have, like and so you're gonna complement each other, and like, and together you're gonna create great things, like powerful stuff, like and actually, like, if you look like historically back in time, back when women didn't have like a solid voice, because they didn't have a lot of rights and stuff, like back then, like a lot of men accomplished great things, but they didn't do that alone. Like they didn't do that as an individual, just figuring stuff out on their own. Like they had a woman by their side, most of them, who talked to them about their great ideas, talked them through, and developed on the idea, added something to the idea, and then the end product that was published was, of course, in the husband's name, but usually it was a union, like between two people, a power couple, and so we don't have to do everything on our own, even though we often want to do that, but yeah. I'm also getting that some of you might also connect, because of the ghost association, that some of you might also have a way to connect with not only people around you, which you're very good at, but also connecting to the spirit world, and maybe some of you can even communicate with ghosts. So yeah, but and connect, not necessarily you, but connecting other people to ghosts, like being the middleman, who being a medium, to where other people who have lost someone can go to you and get a connection to, or get communication to their that loved one. So yeah, that's also something I see for you. But I think your life purpose is very much like through connection, building things up in union, like in teamwork, creating great things as a team with great people, like going together with great people and accomplishing great things as a group. I feel like. So yeah. That could also be done like with a seance or something. Like sometimes it's hard for like a medium to just get the connection between, like sometimes you need more people to get together and kind of create that connection, so that there's, but I don't know, but I'm also getting like in terms of your life purpose, it's a bit, I know it's a bit vague here, because I'm sensing it's just like you're supposed to work together with others for some kind of like the greater good of something. I don't know, but I don't really know exactly what your life purpose is, other than you're supposed to add to a bigger thing, like be a team player in something great, like some kind of project that's gonna be known in the future. But maybe you're not gonna be like famous on your own, like you're gonna be famous as a part of a great project, like if you're gonna be famous. But I don't but if you're, I think you're gonna be successful, not necessarily someone who's gonna be like well known, but yeah, I think the thing that you're gonna be a part of in the future is gonna be well known. So it's like so I think your life purpose is to try. I think in order to fulfill your life purpose, you're supposed to go out, network, mingle, with people, connect with all the people that you can that you can think of. Create such a make sure that you have those beats on that string, like the right connections, the right. But I don't know. It's a difficult one. But yeah. But I think that's all I have for you, group number 3. I hope this reading was somewhat helpful, and if it was, please subscribe to my channel, and if you want a personal reading from me, check the description box below for more information on how to book one. And yeah, have a great day, and bye. Hello, group number 4. You chose these Archetype Oracle cards, and so I will start with some channeling, and then I will shuffle the cards for you. Group number 4. So the people who will choose group number 4, what is group number 4's life purpose? What is group number 4's life purpose? So I'm sensing that it's like you have, I think most of you have psychic abilities. Like I think you have, like you can channel, you're very intuitive, you're maybe an empath. I feel like you're very good at exploring the unknown. Like you're very good at also just good. I think you're very, very intuitive. You're good at and I think you can help a lot of people with your psychic abilities. And I think your life purpose is very much to help people by using your psychic abilities. Like help people find answers that they are seeking. Help people find some kind of rest in knowing, like also helping people like if through grief counseling, or like where you can combine grief counseling with your psychic abilities, like giving helping people through mediumship, but doing it in a way where you can actually sort of put it to rest, or make people feel like you can help them move past it, and move on from something traumatic that has happened in their life, something like death, but also maybe something else. Like I feel like you can also help people through your psychic abilities by helping them understand things about themselves that they didn't understand before, reveal things about them that they didn't know existed within them, help people make sense of their childhood, help people go through their childhood trauma and figure out how childhood trauma has completely dictated their life since then, or something, like where you can actually, like, because I think you're good at reading people, you're good at making sense of people's stories and make like their life stories, and helping them by actually making sense of it, and also just by seeing people. Like I think you can see people, you can look within people's soul, and like you can do the soul searching for people that they should be able to do themselves. But sometimes people are constipated in a way where like their soul is like it can't like emotionally constipated, where they might just have a lot of emotions just blocking them, or that they can't get out, like it's just stuck in there, and they don't know how to, like, and I feel like you can get it out, like you can help people by acknowledging what the emotions that they have not acknowledged in themselves, like seeing, like you might be able to, like it kind of makes me think of that movie, the Anger Management. It was a bad movie. I would have written it completely differently if I had to. Like, I didn't get it. Like, I think like they made a lot of bad choices in that movie, like bad twists and bad turns, and like it should have been completely different in my opinion. But it wasn't me who wrote it, and so I can bitch about it all I want. It wouldn't make a difference. But yeah, Anger Management. I think that's name of the movie, and like it starred Jack Nicholson and Adam Sandler, and in that movie Jack Nicholson can see that like Adam Sandler is like the character that Adam Sandler played, that he was very that he had anger issues, even though he was very, like, it wasn't obvious to him or others that he had anger issues, because he was very mellow and very mild about everything, and it didn't really was like seemed very calm and peaceful all the time, and didn't make a fuss about anything, and didn't like but then like it kind of, like throughout the movie, even though it was bad, like it kind of like came out that he actually did have anger issues, if I remember correctly, and so like it. But whatever. Like I think you are just able to, like, you can maybe tell if people have anger issues, even in the most mellow person. Like you can maybe tell that they are struggling with anger issues, even though they seem completely calm. But you can tell that there is something in them, that something that needs to come out in some way in order to. It's kind of also like Mesmer, or the doctor, psychologists who were mesmerizing. That word is named by someone named Mesmer, who was the first to kind of develop the hypnosis. But but one of Mesmer's practices or tactics in when he dealt with people with mental illnesses was to, if I remember this correctly, but yeah, I might be wrong about this. I don't really remember, but I think it was about how, like, in order to help people like who are dealing with some kind of something that's like an obsession or something, then you have to kind of escalate it. Like you need to get it like escalated on a great until like it's like a balloon. Like you just need to push as much air into it until it explodes, and then it will somehow like end the obsession. and because then it will, first of all, it will be like, it will have escalated. Like obsession is kind of like, it's always like going in one direction, and when it gets like it can, like it's like if you deal with a child who has like who's very naughty and very and who always wants to who's a troublemaker, who always wants to do something like bad, and like then you can kind of escalate this urge to do like to do tricks on people or something, like by actually encouraging them to do a trick on someone that's actually very dangerous. Like if maybe it's like then, because then it can escalate, and they can see suddenly that what they are doing is actually potentially harmful, when they are actually being completely like faced with the harm of what or it's kind of like I don't know if I should just keep explaining this, or just accept that I'm not gonna explain it in a good enough way anyways, but like I don't know what the word for it. That's the annoying part, is that I don't know the word for it in English. But like when a child does something like some small thing to irritate others, like stealing their glasses, or hiding someone's shoes, or just has like if a child has like this constant urge to do something that's an inconvenience for someone else, and then you can kind of like encourage the child by saying, oh well, wouldn't it be fun to try something even more naughty, like could we, and then like suggest that they do something even like something potentially harmful, like taking the rollator from an older person, like their grandpa, taking the what's it called, like a rollator, like it's not called that in English, I realize that, but the walking thing where they have to, like the thing that they have to, like in order for them, and then that might have potentially harmful, like that hiding that away, like hiding an old man's cane from him, that's that can end up in a very grim and that situation, and that is maybe what needs to be done in order to escalate this and make the child realize that, okay, sometimes there are, like, this obsession I have to do something harmful can actually end up being really harmful. Like, but it's a bad example. I realize that it's a really bad example, and I don't really know where I was going with it. But I think, like, you can, you have an ability to see what needs to be, like, what buttons to push, like what needs to be done to escalate, like, and like make them, like, maybe even start, like maybe you're a bit of a chaos monster. Like, you can start some, like, if with like if you treat someone who with a mental illness, you can kind of like encourage them until they break, and then when they break, then you can put the pieces together. But like you can force some sort of like tower moment to happen. Also if you treat like people who have addictions or something like that, like maybe you will treat some people in the future who hasn't hit rock bottom yet, and you can kind of maybe you have like a way where you can sort of make it happen a bit sooner, so that you can kind of deal with it from there and make it. I know that it sounds a bit like like I don't know. But I think like with this card here, it's a blank card, and I feel like your life purpose, like it is all that you want it to be. Like you can make it whatever you it's kind of a clean slate. It's but I'm gonna shuffle and see if there's something else coming through about your life purpose. But I'm sensing that you are very... Oh, so yeah, the mediator. And so I think you are a good mediator. I think you have... I think, first of all, I think you could be mediums. I think you have psychic abilities, so I think you're good at but I think you're also possibly good at couples therapy or group therapy or something, or but mostly family therapy or couples therapy, where you can sort of get to the bottom of the problems, because you have respect for both sides of an argument. And you're good at seeing things from both sides, and you're good at empathizing with every person, like in the family or in the both sides of a like in couples therapy, like and but I'm sensing that your life purpose is to help people individually, but I feel like it's more that you're even though I think couples therapy and family therapy are like great for you, but I think if you have like therapy with like one-on-one with people, then I think one of the things that you're really good at is helping people deal with their relationships, help people see like clearly their issues with their father or issues with their mother, and what needs to be done in order to solve those issues. You're a good judge of character. You're good at reading people. You're good at you can see through people, and you can see through the bullshit, and like you don't like you're also good at understanding every perspective. Like if someone comes to you and asks for a therapy session or a reading, if you're a tarot reader or a clairvoyant or something, then like if a client comes to you and wants to talk about their dad who was abusive, then you're gonna be very empathetic of the client who comes in, but you will also help them, help the client maybe also realize that there were maybe some reasons why their father was so abusive, and maybe that was because their father was abused himself, like he was abused in his childhood, and so he might have just repeated that pattern with the client, and so like you might be able to solve those mysteries, because you also, I feel like you don't believe in evil, like you don't believe that there are evil people, that people are just evil for no apparent reason. Like there's a reason for everything, that there's a no one just harms a child just for the fun of it, even though there are sick people in the world, but someone made those people sick, and of course that's not an excuse, but it could be an explanation. And sometimes people just need an explanation, like sometimes it makes people, like sometimes people just want to make sense of what happened to them, and understand that it wasn't just something that that happened in vain, or like there, even though it was in vain, like completely in vain, but that there was a reason behind it, or maybe also like make people realize that even though like horrible things have happened to them, that it has that there was a reason for that it happened, maybe also a spiritual reason, that that they wouldn't be the same person if that hadn't happened, and stuff like that. That but I think you have a way to make people feel better and comfort people through hard things, through hardships, and through like you. And I think it's also because you have been through a lot yourself. Like you can relate to a lot of people's problems, because you might have had a very big portion of those problems yourself, and so you can actually guide people through it because you've been there. And so I think I think your life purpose is to help people, and help people with your, I feel like many of you have psychic ability, so helping people by reading them, seeing them, looking into their soul, and really digging in and digging up those things that have been hidden for a long time and buried for a long time, and getting it up to the surface. And you're the only one who can do that, because you're one of those rare ones with psychic abilities, a great intuition. You're an empath. So yeah, and you can also like recognize yourself in others, and you can and so many of the problems that you have dealt with in your life, they haven't been in vain. Like there's a reason why all these gruesome things happen to you, because I know it sounds like really annoying, but maybe some of it happened because you were supposed to help others who are dealing with the same, and help them through it, and you wouldn't have been able to help that many people if those things hadn't happened to you. So yeah, and but I think that's all I have for you, group number 4. I hope this reading was helpful, and if it was, please subscribe to my channel, and if you want a personal reading from me, check the description box below for more information on how to book one, and have a great day, and bye. Hello, group number 5. You chose the Alcohol Tarot deck, and I will start with some channeling, and then I will shuffle the cards for you. Group number 5. So group number 5, the people who will choose group number 5. Group number 5. What is group number 5's life purpose? Spirit, can you tell me what group number 5's life purpose is? I'm sensing writing, like I'm sensing that that you are there's something, there's a story here that needs to be written. Like it's coming in quite strongly, that I'm sensing that some of you already know what story it is. Maybe you have some of it written down already, like and maybe waiting in a drawer somewhere or something. I don't know, but like I feel like many of you, like you need to finish that, because it's a big part of your life purpose, a big part of your, like, because I feel like your life purpose is to write and share stories, and share stories that will captivate people, that will emotionally fulfill people, or make people, like I think through writing you can appeal to an audience in a way where you can actually reveal things to them that they didn't know already, or that make them realize something about themselves that they didn't know, or like also talking about things that are maybe a bit like taboo subjects, like and like I feel like you're supposed to share, like I feel like there is one story that you need to share, like one very powerful story, and I think some of you already know what it is, but maybe some of you will first get the idea of it later. And it could be a story about yourself, but it could also be a story about someone else or someone in your family, like some story that you've always wanted to write about, maybe a family member, or maybe something that happened in your, like something that happened in your neighborhood. Of course, if it's too close, then of course you know that it would probably be good to change the names so that you don't get sued and stuff like that. But I think like many of you have like one story that you really want to tell the world, and that you really want to share with the world. Also to give that story justice, like maybe some of you feel like the story wants to be written, like it's not really up to you, that it's like, but also I feel like there's maybe, if it's a real story, you might want to like give that person the justice they deserve by telling the story in the right way. Maybe you felt like there were some misunderstandings, people didn't really get what was going on or something, and I think you want to, and I think your life purpose is also to redeem that person, like that person, like by, or redeem yourself, like make it through writing. but I'm gonna shuffle and see what the cards say. So group number 5. Ace of Pentacles. So I think your life purpose is something that could potentially make you a lot of money. I think so. I think finances go hand in hand with your life purpose, which is not usually not necessarily the case for everyone. Like, but I think for you, I think if you write this book that you're thinking about writing, it's gonna it's gonna be a good book. Like, it's gonna sell and be a good beginning of a good career. Like with the 7 of Swords, I think your life purpose is to put put something out in the light that was in the dark, maybe shedding light on the shadow, or shedding light on something that has been in the dark. So that could also be that story about if there's a story that you feel like hasn't been told in the right way, or something where you feel like the reality of it has been hidden from the public, and so you want to put the reality, you want to publish the right thing, the right story, the correct story, how it really happened or something, and so shedding light on something that has been dark, in the dark, and buried for maybe many years, and like a secret, that a family secret maybe. Maybe also writing about your family. Of course, it could be a bit awkward if the family members that you actually want to write about are still alive and kicking, and then it's of course a bit awkward to. But you can always change the names or I don't know. But with 7 of Swords, I'm also sensing that you're gonna do something, your life purpose is very much individualistic in a way, where I feel like you can actually fulfill your life purpose on your own, yourself, you alone in your basement writing or something. You can actually fulfill your life purpose on your own. You don't need anyone to make your dreams come true. You can do it on your own, and you can also fulfill your destiny, your soul mission here on earth on your own. Of course, getting help from others would be nice, but I think most of you are lone wolves. You maybe thrive more on your own, and do better when you work completely by your own clock and your own rhythm, so that you don't have to dance with other people and try to get in their rhythm, because maybe some of you also have a bad rhythm, but I think it's mostly that you have your own rhythm and you don't like to dance to someone else's rhythm. You want to be your own you're stubborn in your own rhythm. You're good, maybe not good at adapting to other people's rhythms, and and that's symbolic. Like it's it's not necessarily about rhythm, like dancing, but like I think you're maybe bad at adapting to other people when you have to work, like having to do too many sacrifices, too many compromises in order to make other people happy, or with a like maybe you're just so perfectionistic about your result, and there might also be a very good reason for that, because maybe like for instance writing a book, like you're the only one who can write that book, and getting one else's perspective might even fuck it up. So maybe make sure that you don't share your book idea with too many people, because you might have like a family member who's also a very great writer, and if you start talking to that person about your idea for a book, they might hawk it. Like they might not that they would not that they would steal your idea and write a book about, but they might want to be like really helpful, and even to the point where they might end up writing the book for you, because they want to be, like I feel like there might just be one person around you who's kind of like micromanaging, and like if you would just share the idea, they would just start developing on it and start like coming up with new ideas and new perspectives, and what if you did this, and what if you did that, and maybe you should do that, and maybe if you build it up this way, maybe if you what about the ending, couldn't it be another way, like couldn't you have another ending that did that, or something like, and then like that would fuck up the original idea. And I think you have to be true to the original idea, and so maybe sharing your book idea with too many people could be a bad idea. So maybe keep it to yourself and just write it on your own, and maybe don't have too many people read it before you send it to the publisher. Just do it on your own. So, but what is group number 5's life purpose? So, with the King of Beers, which is King of Wands, reversed, I think your life purpose is to somehow not get too I feel like there might be someone, this doesn't have to have anything to do with your life purpose necessarily, but I feel like some of you might have someone in your life, and maybe a man, maybe a fire sign, a Leo, Sagittarius, Aries, who is maybe a bit who's kind of fucking with your brain a bit, or not, like you might have a solid idea of what your life purpose is, and you might feel it in your gut that is your life purpose, but there might be some force in your life, a male force, Aries, Sagittarius, Leo, who might try to talk you out of doing what you really want to do, and who might read through your script when you're done writing it and say, oh, like they might go into teacher mode and start like going about it as if it was like maybe the person in your life is a teacher, or like, and so they are used to like going through students' essays, and so they might go, they might read your script like it was an essay from their student, and so they might do the same thing, like, oh, that was like in a critical way, like do a lot of notes on every page and say, oh, maybe if you change this, maybe if you change that, then it would be better, and maybe you need to get rid of that person, not entirely, but get rid of it. Get rid of that person when it comes to your life purpose. That this person shouldn't discourage you from doing what you believe in your gut that you have been put on this earth to do. And with the 5 of Wands, which is 5 of Cups reversed, I think you are an optimist by nature. You might have turned pessimistic with time, but I think it's mostly influence from others. Like, I think you have always known that you were good at whatever you're good at, like writing. I think you've always known that you were like better than most, and so it's maybe you have become a bit pessimistic about that with time, or because of outer influences making you feel like, oh, it's maybe unrealistic, or but I think, like, you should remember, like, you should go back to like the outlook you had when you were a child or when you were a teenager, because back then I don't think you had a lot of doubts about your greatness. Like, those doubts have been planted afterwards. So but I think, like, you are generally optimistic, and you see the glass half full and not half empty, and you're able to see opportunities where other people, like, sometimes you might go after some dream and maybe people aren't on board with it. Maybe people think you're a bit crazy for wanting to do whatever you're doing, maybe whatever you're doing right now. Like, maybe you're doing something right now that people find a bit strange, or a bit or maybe you don't. Maybe you do something very, very normal, and maybe that's something you shouldn't do. Like, maybe you're not supposed. Maybe you weren't put on this earth to do something normal and average, and like, maybe you just were put on this earth to do something a bit different from, like, and shoot for the stars, and have high hopes for yourself, and there's nothing wrong with that. And so, and I think, like, you might have shared your dreams with the wrong people, but because I feel like you have had people around you tell you that, oh, that's an unrealistic dream, or that's just weird, or you shouldn't do that because nobody wants to hear about that, or something. And I think you have listened to them maybe too much, and maybe it's time to just stop listening and just close your ears every time you're around these naysayers, because you don't need them. Because I feel like there's like they are blocking you from your life purpose. Like you have a solid life purpose, and I'm very sure it's about either, like, I'm getting the feeling that it's about writing mostly, like that most of you are supposed to be writers, but for others of you it could be another way to, like, of course I'm maybe a bit old school for thinking that the only way to share stories are through writing, because there could be a lot of other ways to share stories with others, and so it could also be visual, like you can do videos, or some other platform where you can share stories. But I think, like, there are stories that you need to share. Maybe you were also like a child who kept telling yourself stories. Like maybe you talked a lot to with yourself. I did when I was a child. I think most children have done that. So it's not like, oh, I'm so special. But like, but yeah, most children do that. But I think maybe when you were talking to yourself as a child, you might have told yourself stories. Like every time you walked to your school, you might have told yourself stories, made up stories, and I think that is your life purpose. You were already trained by the spirit, like from a very early age. You were spiritually trained to share stories, make up stories, tell stories, and move people with your stories. Maybe you all also like made up stories while you were on the toilet when you were a child. Like maybe you had your toothbrushes, like, and like told one story to like had like conversation with the two toothbrushes, like talking to each other or something. Like maybe you always just had like this need to make up a story and tell a story, share a story. And I think that is your life purpose. You're supposed to entertain and move people, even like through some kind of creative expression. I think you have a really vivid imagination. Like you are very imaginative, very, like, you have a good like you're good at and you're good at using words to create images in people's minds, and you do that through your writing. Like you write in a way where people, like, you create images in people's heads, and I think you're really good at that. Like you're good at telling a story, because it plays out in people's minds when you tell stories, because you tell them with great details, with great symbolic, like great metaphors, great, like, yeah. But yeah, I think that's all I have for you, group number 5. I hope this reading was helpful, and if it was, please subscribe to my channel. And if you want a personal reading from me, check the description box below for more information on how to book one. And yeah, have a great day, and bye. Hello, group number 6. You chose this the Hermetic Tarot deck, and I will start with some channeling, and then I will shuffle the cards for you. Group number 6. So the people who will choose group number 6. What is group number 6? Life purpose. Spirit, can you tell group number 6 what their life purpose is? What is group number 6 life purpose? Can you tell me what group number 6's life purpose is? What is their life purpose? What is group number 6's life purpose? I am getting something about it's a bit weird, but like I'm getting something about sports. Of course, I'm very I'm quite certain that many of you don't even like that word, sports. Like it has a negative association with many of you. So I think you might be like saying like no, that's not me right now, but I'm sensing that maybe your life purpose is to maybe make people more like people who have a negative association when it comes to sports, make them like sports better, like maybe because you can relate to maybe helping people like but it doesn't have to be sports. It could just have been an example that came into my mind because Spirit knows that I associate sports with something negative, so they know that but it could be something else. Then it doesn't have to be sports. So it could be anything that people have a negative association to. That like it's your life purpose to make people okay with something that they were uncomfortable with before. Like break some kind of barriers and make people do something that is out of their comfort zone, something that they don't like to do, that they would really want to be without if they could choose, and make them okay with it and make them enjoy something that they hated in the past. And so yeah, but it could be something like creating like an organization or like a sports not a sports team, but like a place where you can get together and play sports, but maybe like where the concept is that it's only people who are really bad at sports are allowed to be in the club, like where people who just all have a very bad like making people go out in the woods and do like a the what's it called, the scavenger hunt, but just change the concept to that it's only people with really bad sense of directions that go together and do a scavenger hunt together, like something like that. So something a bit funny though. Like I feel like you're supposed to do something like something a bit original, and like. But I feel like the idea is to take something where you can take something that's completely out of people's comfort zone, something that they know that they are bad at, that they suck at, and then like getting people together who suck equally bad at something, and then make them suck together, and then it's not. It sounds a bit weird when I said it. That sounded a bit weird, but. You get what, like, but make people be bad together. Like people who are bad at something can come together and be bad together, so that it's not so bad. Like for instance, like a cooking class, but the only way you can sign up for it is that you have burned everything that you have ever cooked in your life, and so it's just the worst of the worst getting together and doing something that they are completely horrible at together. And I don't know, but like I'm sensing that like you're supposed to help people get like be okay with also sucking at things and kind of seeing the fun in it and making people laugh at their own badness, and make people like, yeah, like there's also that joke that I kind of feel like I kind of stole a joke from like some, I don't know, but like where I think it's some kind of sketch show. It could have been Monty Python, or I don't really remember, but it was like where a football team, but like where football, but where where no one had, where a football team with no sense of direction or something like it, and then like everybody, all of the people in the football team they're just running in completely opposite directions, and I don't know, I don't really remember it. It's really long since I watched it, so it's like it was when I was a teenager, I think, so it's a long time ago, but I think like there is something here about just making fun of like making something fun, like where people come together and they are, and it's like happy-go-lucky. It's a light environment where people can like try out something that they know they are horrible at, but kind of maybe try to get a bit better at it, but they can do it because they are in a safe environment, because they know that all the other people in the class or in the course, they all suck also. So like you can, so it's a bit lighter. I don't know, but with the Six of Swords, I feel like it says Lord of Earned Success, and so I'm sensing that your life purpose is like, it could, like, it's not gonna be but this card is Six of Swords, like in Rider-Waite, it's someone sailing from stormy waters to calm waters, and sailing, a person sailing with two people in a boat to calmer waters. And so I think like your life purpose is to also to help people come from difficulties, to like being like the what's like someone who, like a sailor of like a small boat, like that just rows from one place to the other, like just to just to drop people off in a better place, like and I feel like your life purpose is to help people come from a bad place to a better place. This also gives me indications that your life purpose is also to save some very lost souls, like help people out of addictions, help people who have very low self-esteem get higher self-esteem, help people who struggle with mental illness and get them to on the other side of it, and help them see the light at the end of the tunnel, give people more hope for a better future, help build people up, especially people who have been through a lot of storm clouds throughout their life, and try to get them to a more peaceful place in their life where they can maybe move on from some of their past demons and ghosts from the past, and take them from one environment, and maybe also changing the scenery for them, helping people get into a different environment. You could also work as a social worker, help people out of people who are in a really bad crowd, hanging out with a bad crowd, hanging out with some very shady types, and maybe taking them out of that environment and putting them into another one, dropping them off at another place where they aren't constantly tempted by whatever was in the other environment, and that could be like a treatment for people who have very bad drug addictions. Like I've heard of people who had very bad drug addictions, and the state just chose to just that they had tried everything to make this person better, get them out of their addiction, but it didn't work out. So they had to ship them over to another state just to get them out of that environment, because that was the only thing they could really do to help them, because they always fell off the wagon when they were constantly tempted by people from their hood or from their crowd, and helping people in that way, helping people as a social worker, also with the child protection services, CPS or something. It's like child protective services or child protection services or something, and help children who are in very abusive families, help them maybe get into some foster care or something, and so that they can blossom somewhere else, or something. But with the universe here, it says the great one of the night of time. And so I feel like some of you are nocturnal by nature. Like you might just work better at night. You might be more productive at night, and maybe there is a reason for that. Maybe you are supposed to work a night shift. maybe you're supposed to work as at an institution where you take the night shifts and be there for people in need at night, like working at a homeless shelter, but working there in the night time where they need you the most, like stuff like that. And maybe that's the whole reason why you are nocturnal by nature. Like maybe that maybe it's just so that it's easier for you to fulfill your life purpose. With the Queen of Pentacles reversed, I am sensing that that and with the earned success, like I don't know if your life purpose is gonna give you like like a lot of financial, like there might not be like a lot of money in your life purpose. Like I think in order for you to actually fulfill your life purpose is to maybe settle for a job that doesn't pay you that much, but it pays you in the way where you feel like you fulfill your destiny. You're working with people and you're changing people's lives, and you can see the changes. Like I think you will be you will earn that. Like you will be paid in like, of course you will be paid money also, but you will also but I think the most you'll like the most important thing for you, like when you're older and look back at your life, I think you will look back at it and think of all the lives you've saved. Like that home, you will have fond memories of how you contacted a homeless guy in the street and took him with you to the homeless shelter and completely turned his life around or something. And maybe you'll even meet some of the people, the clients that you have worked with. You might meet them 10 years later after you helped them, and they will tell you that you saved them, that you completely changed their life, and that you that they are grateful that they met you at the right time, like because of how great of an influence you were on them. And so that's how you will get paid. Like you're gonna get paid in yeah, I know it doesn't sound like much, but in these great sunshine stories that you're gonna hear, like where you're gonna know you're doing the right thing because you meet the people that you have helped, and you'll meet them and know that they wouldn't have been the place that they are because if it wasn't for you. Like so yeah, with the Queen of Pentacles reversed, it's not like, I think your life purpose is also to, like, it's not materialistic. It's not about having the biggest house and the biggest and the most expensive car, or like that is not really the important thing. Like the important thing is what you do for others, and I think you know that too. Like I don't think you are very materialistic people. Group number 6. I don't think, like I don't get that feeling from you that you're very focused on money. Like of course I know you want stability in your life, and maybe stability you will find it, but you will have to earn it in some way where like it's not gonna just come to you without any effort. And but it's gonna be, you're gonna know that you're doing the right thing if you choose to work in a field where you help people, where you help unfortunate people, the lowest in the hierarchy, like the ones at the bottom, and help build them up, and see the end result, and see them years later, and they have a family, and they have a beautiful life, and you'll just tear up by knowing that you did that. You made that happen. You changed their life. And I think like it's gonna be like amazing, really. Like, so yeah. But I think that's all I have for you, group number 6. So I hope this reading was helpful, and if it was, please subscribe to my channel. And if you want a personal reading, check the description box below for more information on how to book one. And yeah, have a great day, and bye. Hello, group number 7. You chose this Jolanda Tarot deck, and I will start with some channeling, and then I will shuffle the cards for you, group number 7. So the people who will choose group number 7, what's their life purpose? Spirit, what is group number 7's life purpose? I think it has a lot to do with animals, protecting animals. I think you have a very strong connection with animals. Like, I think nature is very, like, everything that has to do with like animals and nature, and preserving nature, protecting the nature, protecting the wildlife, protecting animals, protecting animal rights, and also environment, like protecting the environment, or like. So I think like your life purpose is to be like to be an advocate of wildlife, whatever doesn't be an advocate for whatever doesn't have a voice. Like animals don't have a voice, the nature doesn't have a voice, the planet doesn't have a voice, like, and advocate for those things. Also, I feel like there's also something about justice, like some of you could be also interested in like law, so maybe some of you are studying law or thinking about studying law, and I think it has to do with your, like, you have a very strong moral compass. Like, you get really angry when things are unfair, like when you see injustice happening, when you see that, like, and you could also have like be very upset about like when you see animals living in places where it's not up to the standard, like it's not how it should be, and I think you also get upset when you see humans get unfair treatment, or when humans aren't treated equally. With 10 of Pentacles, I feel like your life purpose could be something that has been passed on to you by another family member, like passed on from generation to generation, so that maybe you are like maybe you want to be a lawyer, but maybe there are also lawyers in your bloodline, in your family, and so maybe it's a family business. But even if it's not law, then there could just be something that where you're kind of walking in some family members' shoes, like filling up their shoes, or going in their footsteps, and yeah. But also, like, I think you're good at, like, if you're following the family business, it's because you're good at it, and so it doesn't necessarily, like, sometimes we give it a bad, like sometimes we look at it in a bad way when people follow their when people go into the family business, because we associate that with defeat in some way, that oh it's someone who, like, if a child chooses the same profession as his dad, then it's looked down upon, like, oh, that child didn't have a mind of his own and just chose to go down the same path as his dad, and it must be because either that he was pressured to do it, or something, or that it wasn't original enough or something. But really, sometimes family businesses happen not necessarily because it's like forced or convenient or anything, but actually just because the family has chosen the business, or the chosen whatever field they excel at, and it could just be something that you have inherited from your family. Like, so if your dad is a lawyer, that doesn't, and you want to go into law because it's something you're good at arguing and a case, and you're good at making a case, you're good at finding, like, and you're good at researching and finding evidence, or finding a good good arguments to why you like, and finding loopholes in the laws, in the justice system, and finding whatever, like, and it might just be something you're really good at, and it might just be something you have inherited, and maybe you didn't, like, and maybe it's just something your family has always been good at from generation to generation, and so there's nothing bad about going into the family business. I feel like if it's something you excel at, then it would be a shame if you didn't. But with a Page of Cups, I think your life purpose is to be help, but I feel like it's like you're supposed to offer your help. You're supposed to be, like, I feel like some of you, like, if you're going into law, like, I think some of the greatest work that you will do in your career as a lawyer would be the pro bono cases, because I think, like, and I think that's something you would also really want to do, like, help people with legal matters without having them spend all their money on the legal advice, like, so helping people who are, like, really in a pickle and can't afford a lawyer. But I'm also sensing that, like, that you're gonna give people a voice who can't stand up for themselves. Maybe also like making some. Maybe you will engage in some political stuff, like political movements and stuff, and be a very good advocate for a political movement where you can really make a difference and talk about the unfairness going on, and advocate equal rights and human rights and animal rights and environmental stuff and nature stuff, and I don't know, but I'm also like, I'm sensing that like you will do a lot of great progress, but it might take a while. With the turtle here and the woman here who has kind of turned to stone and who's a bit of a statue now, and who has also like flowers growing from her hair because has been standing there for so long that that moss has started growing on her head. Like so maybe some of your life purpose might be fulfilled later on in life, like and maybe some of it will take a while, like, but Rome wasn't built in a day, and sometimes the greatest things take time. Like maybe the world isn't ready for it now. Like sometimes we can get a bit like ahead of our time, or before our time, or ahead of before the, what's it called? Like ahead of our time. Like so we might like, I think you see things from a different perspective. You're able to see what's wrong with the world. You're able to have kind of an outsider view on the world, where you can see like how weird it is that we're doing certain things. Like, why are we doing things? Like, why are we eating animals? Like, how can we keep justifying that to ourselves just because it's something we've done for so many years? Like that, can we really justify it just by what's it called? Like, I don't know, but but I think you're able to see what's wrong with the world. Like, you're able to see that the things that most of us are just used to. Like, we don't question it because it's something that's just a part of our life, and so we don't see a world without it. Like, we don't see how the world can be different. And that's also like, if you look back at like before women had any rights, like if you asked someone in that time about women's rights, most people would say that they couldn't imagine a world where women and men were equals. Like that it was just unimaginable for them, and certain things are just like we don't sometimes we when we're in it, when we're living the life within it, we can't step outside it and get like a perspective on it and see what's wrong with it. And sometimes it just we can't really figure it out before it's past, like before we can look back at it, and then like we can look back at in time and in retrospect everything is clear. Like we can look at things in retrospect and think, oh yeah, duh, of course women should have had rights like a long time ago. Like, but and the same with like equal rights for people who are like black and like, duh, of course. Like, but back then people just couldn't picture it, and couldn't. Of course, most people could probably see that there was something wrong with it, but like most of us now, we can, like, I still eat meat, even though I know it's horrible, and I think many people do. Like I know it's horrible, but I still do it because it's just such a cultural thing where we can't really picture a life without it, and it's even though we know that these animals who are getting like slaughtered, they had horrible lives when they were alive, and they were slaughtered just to get eaten, and like it's horrible, I know, and but when you're in it, it's but it takes people like you to make people like me stop eating meat. Like, because it's just sometimes it needs a special kind of people, I guess, to kind of push the movement forward so that it ends up actually changing people's minds, and but yeah, like it's yeah. So, but it might take time. Like, you won't accomplish this like within the next 10 years. Like, this will be a lifetime project for you. Like it was for people who fought for equal rights between black and white people, and also equal rights between women and men. Like, it took a while to get there, but I think you will, like, if you work hard your whole life on this, like, whatever it is that you're really passionate about, I feel like there is something. It might not be necessarily animal rights or some, but I feel like there is something that you are very passionate about, that you really want to fight for, and I think you could really make a difference, and that is your life purpose. But it might be you might be working on it for a long time, but it will make a big difference afterwards. So your stamina in it will count for a lot. Like, the more you keep working on it, the more you keep fighting it, it will eventually you will make a difference. It might not seem that way in the beginning, but it will in the end. So, and you will know in the end that it was all worth it, I feel. So, yeah, I think that's all I have for you, group number 7. I hope this reading was helpful, and if it was, please subscribe to my channel. And if you want a personal reading from me, check the description box below for more information on how to book one. And yeah, have a great day, and bye.